Hello everybody, today I'm going to be reading to you from Psalms 148, verses 7 through 12. Alright, here we go. Praise the Lord from the earth, you great sea creatures and all the depths, fire and hail, snow and clouds, stormy wind fulfilling his word, mountains and all hills, fruitful trees and all cedars, beasts and all cattle, creeping things and flying fowl, kings of the earth and all peoples, princes and all judges of the earth, both young men and maidens, old men and children. All right. Now, speaking of beasts and cattle, I am going to show you how I made these. So for the barbecue meatballs, we're doing 2 pounds of the 81 ground beef. You're also going to need pineapple slices, coleslaw mix, cheese, and then we're doing some Blues Hog barbecue sauce and their bold and beefy seasoning. And then we're also going to need some breadcrumbs to put in there as well. And then over here for the goat, we're going to kind of do like a curry kind of goat thing. So we got a pound of goat, we got some curry seasoning, and what's great about this is it already has like your fenugreek and all that stuff you're going to need already in it. So we're just going to worry about the powder. If you want to add some cayenne and some other stuff in there as well. We're also got some Greek seasoning back there, some hot sauce. We're going to need yogurt, lemon and lime juice. And then we got some cilantro and goat cheese, and then some tomato sauce. And then we're also going to chop up an onion, throw it in there. All right, and I already got the smoker heating up, so we're just going to get all this put together. And then the goat is going to get grilled, and then the beef is going to get smoked. And then we'll plate them up at the end. So the mix we're going to be putting in the goat is just going to be kind of a mix of a few things. So we're going to put a little bit of ginger in there. A little bit of garlic. Okay. And then we're going to add our curry powder. Just a good amount. A little bit of the Greek seasoning. Gonna get that stirred all up. And we'll add just a little bit of breadcrumbs in there to help absorb some of the fat. Add some of this to our goat. Okay. And this one's pretty straightforward. We are just going to go ahead and add some mayo. It's mostly made out of eggs and oil anyway. And probably a tablespoon or so of mustard. Probably about 1/4 to 1/2 cup of breadcrumbs. And just a good amount of the bold and beefy. This one is pretty salty. So we probably going to start out with just a little bit at a time. All right, we'll just get it all mixed up. Okay, now we got to make meatballs. Just gonna roll them in your hands like so. Might make them a touch smaller. All right, about that size. That should do it. We're just going to go ahead and get these meatballs put in the smoker. All right. Okay. All right. So, I put this thing as hot as it would go. Just a little bit under. It goes up to 275. And that was just to kind of get the wood going. But I'm going to drop it down to about 185 or so. All right, and I know it says 1 jar for 1 bag of slaw, but I'm just doing 1 jar for 2 bags of slaw. This I picked up from my mother-in-law. So we're just going to add some horseradish. I just have a little bit left, so probably about, let's see, 1 to 2 tablespoons or so. Some dill weed. All right. Some dill in there. I'm just gonna stir it all up. And if the bowl you're using has a lid, you can go ahead and put that on there and just shake it up real good, and it'll get everything coated a lot quicker and a lot easier. And now for the goat meatballs. Let's get them made up. Okay, and for the consistency on this one, I would probably add a little bit less yogurt and a little bit more breadcrumbs, but I think it's gonna come out good. I'll let you know at the end. All right, and then as for these, I'm gonna put these on a skewer. Maybe they'll stay. Something I'm gonna do, since these have a lot more of a looser texture than the beef, I don't know if it's because it's a lot leaner or because I probably added too much yogurt, but I'm gonna actually pop these in the freezer to kind of firm up a little bit, and that way they'll kind of keep their shape as they cook. So I'm just gonna pop these in the freezer for maybe like half an hour to maybe 45 minutes or so. All right, let's see if that helps. Okay, and what I got here is just 6 little piles of just some sharp cheddar cheese. And I'm just gonna put it in the oven on a high broil, and we are going to want to be checking on these like every minute or so. Okay, so we're gonna start over. We're gonna put it on low, and we're gonna put it lower, and then hopefully this won't happen. So don't do this. Let's try again. I think the weird thing is that the cheese looks fine, but everything else just looks horrifying. So we're gonna start over. Okay, so we got the broiler on low, and I'm gonna put them on a lower rack, and I'm gonna keep it closer on. This was literally after like 30 seconds. I'm not even kidding. So yeah, we're gonna try this again. Cheese is pretty good though. It's still good. Because everything else almost caught on fire. This is cooking at a bit more manageable pace. So we're just gonna keep an eye on that every few seconds or so and just checking on it. Wait until it's kind of a golden brown. So go ahead and get these guys out of here. All right, just gonna let them cool and crisp up. And then hopefully they turned out okay. All right, so it's been about an hour or so. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the meatballs out of the smoker. I'm gonna transfer them to a pan, and I'm gonna add some raspberry chipotle barbecue sauce to them. We're gonna put them back in and bump the temperature up to about 200 degrees or so. And then they should be done after that. I'm probably gonna add one more little piece of hickory before we go. All right, so while we're waiting on the beef meatballs to finish up, we're gonna go ahead and get started on making the curry goat meatballs. We're gonna start with the curry sauce, and then we'll finish with the goat kebabs, and then we should be done. Four tablespoons of butter. I'm just gonna throw it right on in there. Our half a white onion chopped. See this guy? This guy is just a little beggar, and he just begs for stuff all the time, even though he's already been fed. So not only do I have to deal with him, but right above me is a big old wasp's nest. But I think as long as I keep to myself, they hopefully won't bother me. So we'll see. All right. So they're starting to get a little bit of color on them, not a whole lot, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna add some ginger and garlic and a little bit of lemon and lime juice, and then I'll probably start adding some of the spices in as well. So we got a little bit of the ginger, some of the already pre-roasted garlic, a little bit of lime, a little bit of lemon. Okay. Push that down a little bit. There we go. Got our curry seasoning. Add a good helping. Add a little bit of our Greek seasoning. And then I'm gonna put just a little dash of hot sauce just to give it a little bit of heat. Spices and everything. Kind of hydrate and everything. Something else I'm gonna go ahead and add is just a little bit of chicken stock. Yeah, just a little bit, and then we'll let that reduce down. And that should be good to add our tomato sauce and then our cream. Okay. We're just gonna do a little pinch of salt, just because some of the spices I'm using don't really have a whole lot of salt in it. And everything needs a little bit of salt. Just gonna add that all in there. Stir it in. Just gonna add a little bit of that. A little bit of the Greek seasonings. Whoa, a little much, but it'll be fine. I'm gonna go ahead and add our cream. All right, just a little bit at a time. Just a dash more, that should be good. Shouldn't take too much. I don't really do a lot of measurements, but if I had to guess, I'd probably say maybe 1/4 of a cup or so. I'm just gonna taste it. All right, that tastes pretty good to me. I'm gonna go ahead and put that on low. I'm gonna put the lid on. And then I'm just gonna let that go for maybe 10-15 minutes, and then about partway through cooking the goat, I'm just gonna shut it off and let it be done. All right, okay, they're all on. I'm gonna let that heat up. I'm gonna go get the goat. All right. So I went ahead and turned the heat down on these. And then I did pop in the goat in the freezer, did help them keep their shape. So hopefully that works out all right. I'm gonna go ahead and get these guys put on there. All right. I'm just gonna let those cook. Okay, so the goat meatballs are a little bit more tricky. So you can see I've even been cooking them on here for probably like 10 minutes or so. They're still very, very delicate. So I'm hoping they don't fall apart. I'm trying to let them cook really good on one side before I flip them, because if I try to flip them, I don't want the whole kebab just coming out of them. It's just something to keep in mind, because like I said, I think I added way too much yogurt, and I should have added more breadcrumbs to help it keep its shape a little bit better and help absorb some of that grease. So that's what I would recommend. Less yogurt, more breadcrumbs. I think it's still going to taste good, but I just want to make sure that I'm really careful before I flip them. I'm also going to grill some pineapple rings to go with our beef meatballs. Just going to throw some of these guys up there. There we go. All right, let's give these a try. I'm gonna start with the beef one. I'll try to hurry because the flies are trying to get at me. All right, so I'm gonna try a little bit of the slaw. There we go, a little bit of the cheese. Pineapple. Juicy. Very tender on the beef. Now let's try the goat. Get a little bit of the goat cheese, a little bit of cilantro, a little bit of sauce. There we go. Ooh. That is very good, especially the goat cheese. Very creamy. The sauce came out really, really good. I will say, they were very tricky to do on the skewers. I would recommend doing them in the oven or like on a tray or something. They're just very delicate. Or just add more breadcrumbs, something to kind of give it a little bit more form. But for the ones that did work out, some of them wound up in the sauce because they kind of broke apart. But the ones that did stick together, they came out very good. And definitely try that curry sauce. That's a really good curry sauce. All right, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.